this is BJ Peters here from stampinbj.com, and I'm here to talk to you about my May monthly kit, and that is using your designer series paper. I am going to show you how to use 2 pieces of 6x12 designer series paper and making 11 cards so quickly and easily. Yes, even your favorite designer series papers that you're kind of maybe collecting or hoarding just a bit because you love them so much are going to look fabulous on these cards. This is an example of the Come Sail Away ones that I did. So basically you're going to be cutting the DSP and making a few cards and adding your greetings as you wish. I did another one too, and I used the Parisian blooms. So here is, well, these two are the same layout, and then there's this layout. I turned this one on the side, and that layout and that layout. They're just so cute. So gather your DSP, look at the PDF that I have for you, and let's get started. I am going to use the Pressed Petals Designer Series paper that will be retiring here shortly. What you want to do before you start is make sure that your patterns are going up and down if there's any kind of pattern to your paper at all. And I'm going to cut both of mine at the same time. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off 6 inches because that's what I'm going to work with. I'm going to work with a 6x12 inch piece. So I'm going to set these aside. And now here's my 6x12 inch piece that I'm going to use. The first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to cut 4.5 inches off this left edge. So now I have a 4.5 inch by 6 inch piece. I'm going to cut this in half at 3 inches. And because this paper is a little bit thinner than normal cardstock, I'm actually going to be able to cut all of these together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these into 1.5 inch strips. So here are the strips that I get from doing that. All right, I'm going to set these aside. Next, I'm going to cut off 4 inches from my designer series paper. I'm going to set the remainder aside. And then I'm going to cut off 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. We will use these strips as well. So now I have this 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece. And I'm going to cut these into 1 inch strips. All right, so there are my 8 pieces that I'm getting from that cutting. Now I have this 3.5 by 6 inch piece, and I'm going to cut off 2 1/4 inches and 2 1/4 inches. So I end up with 4 pieces there. Then I'm going to take this 1 3/4 by 1.5, or excuse me, 1.5 inch by 3.5 inch, and I'm going to cut that in half. So that I'll have 4 1.5 by 1 3/4 inch squares when I'm done. Okay, that's all for cutting the designer series paper. And wasn't that pretty easy? All right, let's put some of the cards together. For layout number 1, you're going to be making 4 cards. So you're going to need 4 pieces of Whisper White or some coordinating cardstock that are 3 1/4 by 5. And here's my card bases. So Mary Merlot is this color because it coordinates with the designer series paper. And I'm just going to alternate the pieces on here. So the next one would look like this. And so on. So I would get 4 cards out of all of these pieces. So that one's really very easy. You could have it going this way. You can have it going horizontal, whichever way you want. So add a greeting, add some ribbon or some embellishment of your choice, and there you go. Very super easy. For the next layout, you're also going to be making 4 cards. For the card base for this one, you're going to do an additional score line at 1 1/4 inches, so you kind of have this tish of a modified Z-fold. And for this one, you're going to be using those strips that you cut. So you can have that strip here and this strip here, or reverse it, whichever suits your fancy. Add your little bit of a greeting, such as this, and you are done. For layout number 3, you are going to be using these pieces. So I've got this and I've got this, and then remember those little strips you cut off? We're going to be using that as well. I think I'll use the reverse side. So this is what this card is going to look like. And you'll be making 2 of these, adding a greeting. And here's one of the done ones. Now this one I turned horizontal. You could do that again, or you could have it going vertical like that. For this last card, you are going to be using the 4 little pieces that we sort of cut off right there at the end. Again, on this one, you can use it vertically or horizontally. And this piece that you need, this Whisper White piece, is 3 3/8 by 3 7/8. And you're just going to line up your little squares that you've cut off just like this. Add your greeting, and voila, you are done. Here's the Parisian Blooms one I did. Easy, I made that one vertical. Look at how easy that is. You guys, I really hope that you've enjoyed this quick designer series paper tutorial, if you want to call it that, using some of our favorite DSPs. I love Stampin' Up's DSP, and this really shows it off so very well, and this one is so easy to do. Seriously, you guys, I can't wait to see what you come up with some of the other designer series papers that you have. Be sure and share them with me on BJ's Stampin' Spot. I'd love to see what you create with it. Have a great day, everyone. Remember to create and feel great, and purchase your supplies in my online store. I really appreciate your business. Bye, everybody.